So in multiplying polynomials, there are two things we want to keep in mind. We want to keep in mind the distributive property. So that's where we can multiply across addition and subtraction of an item. So if we have a times and then in parentheses the addition of two pieces, in order to carry out that multiplication, we have to distribute that value of a n. So we'd have a times b plus a times c. And then if you're multiplying a binomial with a binomial, use foiling. So again, these are pieces we've been using throughout the term, but we're just getting little refreshers with them before we start looking at functions. Alright, so in this case, we have 2x, and it's multiplying with, in parentheses, we have this addition. So this is where we're going to distribute 2x in. So what this comes down to is taking 2x times that first term of 3x plus that 2x times 5. So 2 times 3 is 6, x times x is x squared, plus 2 times 5 is 10, x. And then we'll leave it like that. Same thing in this case, we're just going to have a negative go along with it, but all of this out front is going to distribute n. So we're going to have this negative 3x cubed, and that's going to multiply with the 2x to the 5th, and then plus that negative 3x cubed times a positive 1. So negative 3 times 2 is a negative 6. With our exponent rule, so x times x, we would add the exponents together, so 3 plus 5, so this is going to be x to the 8th power. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3, and then just x cubed. Alright, foiling. So we're going to multiply first, outer, inner, last. So this is just using the distributive property. So we'd have x times x, x times 4, 7 times x, 7 times 4. And then just combine like terms. There we have. So we've been doing a lot of factoring this term, so it was all about taking that trinomial and getting to that factored state. This is just the reverse of it. Same thing here with just some different variables, but we'll do first outer, inner last. So 6x squared and 2x times negative 7, negative 14x, y times 3x, 3xy, and then y times negative 7, 7y, and there are no like terms, so it stay just like that. Alright, if we have something out front here, there are two ways to go about this. In fact, I'll even separate this for the two different ways. The first way is that we could FOIL first. So if we FOIL first, first outer, inner last, so that negative is going to stay out front. I'm going to keep parentheses, and what we'll have y squared plus 3y minus y minus 3. And I'm just going to combine like terms, so positive 2y minus 3. And then what we would do is distribute the negative n. So it's going to multiply with each piece. So we'd have negative y squared minus 2y plus 3. So that's one way to get to the answer. Another way would be that we could distribute the negative n first. If we do that, though, it can only go to one of the set of parentheses. So, like, I could go distribute the negative into that first set. So having negative y and positive 1 times y plus 3, and then foiling, that works great. What we can't do, and what's a common mistake with students, is that then they FOIL to the next one as well, but then that's creating two factors of negative 1. It's like we could factor out a negative 1 from that first set and from the second set, which would just turn it into a positive 1, which is not what we have. So the key there is if you have a negative or a number out front, if you want to distribute that in first, choose one set of parentheses. Alright, so just to finish this one up, we would FOIL. So negative y times y is negative y squared. Negative 3y plus 3, and then just combining like terms, and we get to that same answer. Okay, when we're multiplying, but we have multiple terms, so this kind of goes beyond foiling. But the idea of foiling, and what I'm kind of drawing with my colors here, is the idea of we're taking this first term and distributing it into the parentheses. And then we're taking this second term and distributing it into the parentheses. That's the exact thing we want to do here. So we're going to do is start with x and distribute that into the parentheses. It's just going to distribute to 3 terms. And then that positive 3 is going to distribute in. Basically what you want to end up doing is across the 2 sets of parentheses, you want to multiply everything with everything else. But the key is going from one set of parentheses to the other set of parentheses. You wouldn't do any multiplication within parentheses because we know that we're adding or subtracting in there. Okay, so if I distribute that x through, just to write this out in a very long form, we have x times x squared minus x times 5x plus x times 6. And then I would distribute the 3 through, so 3 times x squared. I'm going to keep like negative times positive, it'll be subtraction, 3 times 5x, and then plus 3 times 6. So that's what it would look like multiplying all of that out, and now we just start simplifying. So x cubed minus 5x squared plus 6x plus 3x squared minus 15x plus 18. And now I'm going to go looking for like terms. So we have an x squared and x. So x cubed will go out front. Negative 5 plus 3 is a negative 2. 6 minus 6 minus 15 is negative 9. And then we have this plus 18. So that's our multiplication. Again, things we've been doing this term. Maybe this is a newer one with kind of more terms to multiply across, but it's all about taking terms from one set of parentheses and distributing them through the other set of parentheses.